My name's Jez Cox, and I'm going to be here in the company of Adam Blythe. We are going to take you all the way through the 187 kilometres of this really exciting and very, very young race on the Belgian national scene. Well, Joel Sutter is obviously, I would suggest the time gap we're seeing for Group 2 is to the actual group that Joel Sutter, the Swiss Rijkaard there living on the edge. He's obviously hit one of the small rocks, I think, on the gravel there. We might even see a replay of that, but his front wheel properly turned. Got just touching the brakes as well, being a bit cautious there. Keeping together these two on this last lap. Of course, they'll have the amount of times now that the peloton's been round this, they'll have cut their own little grooves in here. Here we go, we're going to see it now. Watch that front wheel of Rijkaard. That's it, yeah, it's actually a little pothole, isn't it? That was a close one.
It was, yeah.
It's a close one. Now, this is it, Adam. This is the end, very end of the 17th edition of the Dwars Het Hageland, I should say. Rijkaard's taken the glasses off so he can get a good sight of exactly where he's going. Eekhoff is looking, I have to say, a little ragged at this stage.
Still in the big ring now. Rijkaard looks like he's kicking now. That's it.
He's kicking now. He's going for it now, and I think he's sensing that Eekhoff has gone. The gap is opening up, no doubt about it. Rijkaard is riding away to what is going to be one of the, we think, the biggest win of his career. The Alpecin Phoenix rider, the Belgian, is going, and Eekhoff, no, it's not bluffing. He really is feeling it at this stage. He's very nearly there, in actual fact. Jonas Rijkaard is going to turn off here. He's readying himself for the celebration. He's going to be zipping up that jersey, no doubt, and getting ready to get the hands in the air, because Alpecin Phoenix, the pro-continental level team, are going to get the win today in the shape of the Belgian 26-year-old Jonas Rijkaard. He's on the road section now. He's got time to celebrate in front of what is a tiny crowd, of course, at this stage of the season. Jonas Rijkaard at Alpecin. He's one of those riders, one of those sprinters that likes to go from a long way out, but he's got Philipsen just on his wheel. Actually, I think there might be another. Yes, he has. Philipsen has a teammate there. Arnaud Démare is ready to fire. This one's going to be quite a wide sprint by the look of it. Arnaud Démare has opened up for the line in that national champion skin suit. He's looking like he's clear at the moment. Philipsen looking to come off the wheel. Démare looks to have it. In actual fact, Philipsen has put a hand on his backside as Arnaud Démare takes stage 2, this shortened stage 2 of the Skoda Tour de Luxembourg. So after all the hard work of yesterday, Groupama FDJ get their stage win in the shape of a rider who rightly might have felt he would have been riding the Tour de France right now, as he is the French national road race champion. Arnaud Démare, there he is, taking stage 2 of the Skoda Tour of Luxembourg. It's a weird combination of riders on account of what the running has been in terms of that hill. You've got a fairly lightweight rider like Buitrago, who's now, if you like, stuck up there in amongst the big boys who are about to sprint this one out. But I think we're going to see a bit of a merging and a swelling from the side ranks there. I could see Kevin Genier moving up. Now, I can only presume that Arnaud Démare is tucked in somewhere just behind him, but we can't see the colours yet of the French national champion. Quinn Simmons is opening up the sprint at this stage. This is very, very early for him to be going. This has got to be part of... No, he's actually... Matt, he's trying to go off the front of this one. Quinn Simmons has got a tiny bit of daylight between him and the front of the main field, but it is metres, a matter of metres. Here we go. He's coming into the... there we go. Quinn Simmons is now opening up for the line. He's seen the finish line. This looks like Grossu going on the right-hand side. Is that Dagenkolb in the middle? I think that's John Dagenkolb has opened up his sprint at this stage. It does look like John Dagenkolb is going to get the win. That he was on the podium for being the happiest rider yesterday. He looked happy about it, but he's going to be even happier today. John Dagenkolb having crashed out in stage 1 of the Tour de France. While the Tour de France is still running and coming to its conclusion, he gets his win here in Chifflange in Luxembourg in the 80th edition of the Skoda Tour of Luxembourg. He looks happy today, Matt, that's for sure. Right-hand side of the road, the experienced Diego Alisi, the Italian of UAE Team Emirates, was choosing to keep the riders to his left shoulder. He's opened up a little bit of daylight on the outside. Of course, they have a corner yet to come. Alisi on the front, Hogard buzzing around the outside there, twitchy, looking for an opportunity to attack at this point. Tim Wellens sits last wheel, opportunity for a little layback attack potentially, or is he going to wait for the sprint as well? Emid De Gent starting to wind things up. De Gent started to wind things up on the outside, but they're not full crack just yet. Hogard is, though. Hogard has gone early as he can. Now, this is the lead out then. Alisi on his wheel. Alisi starting to come off Hogard's wheel. Now, Alisi leading at this stage. Emid De Gent coming through on the other side of the road, the slightly bigger man, but it looks like Alisi's just got it on the line. The Italian the erstwhile leader of this race and winner of stage 1 takes stage 4 in Differdange. As we watch the sprint coming in, Alexander Krieger should get this one easily. He's got a massive gear on. And there we go. Alexander Krieger taking the sprint for the rest. One or two of the riders there banging the bars as they came across the line. Dischuffed with having let that one go, but go it went. And that cool as a cucumber Italian, Diego Alisi, who obviously has worked really hard, but never looks like he's trying. He's turned his cafe run on a Friday afternoon into yet another victory in the Skoda Tour of Luxembourg. Mighty impressive, Matt. As you can see, the riders set off in very comfortable conditions for racing, around about 15-16 degrees the high in northwestern France this morning, and light winds, although we're expecting a little bit of a cross tailwind as the riders make their way along what is a very, very flat course all the way down to Tours. You get a good idea of the sort of terrain they're going to be taking in by that very shot there itself. We are just catching up with the racing as it had happened here today. It was a frenetic start, as you can imagine. These riders making the most of every single opportunity they have to race, particularly at this time of the year. The last week or so has been a stark reminder to the world cycling community, of course, that we are so lucky. But one thing that has had an effect is the attack of Benoit Cosnefroy there. He has attacked hard up the Côte de la Rochère and detached Rudy Moyard for the moment anyway. So 2 riders at the moment in the lead. Let's see if Moyard can wind his way back on. That big kick by Benoit Cosnefroy looks to have sorted things out a little bit in that leading group. We'll look to get a shot back to see where Moyard is, but back on the gravel. This is the sector of La Coudray, 900 metres long, in between the vineyards, of course. Yeah, the flick of the arm there from Casper Pedersen, the Dane, and Cosnefroy happy to come through at this stage. There is the Flamme Rouge, 1,000 metres to go, and slightly ramping up here. I say it's flat, it's an ever so slight gradual ramp up to the tram there ahead of us. They swing a left-hander, and this left-hander is what takes them on to the Avenue de Grammont, the final 800 metres. Here it is, the left-hand turn. A reasonable crowd out here in Tours as well. Good to see the people are being respectful and spreading themselves out. Never more than one deep there, thankfully. It should be pretty quiet about finishing straight, and this is the finishing straight, the famous Avenue de Grammont, one of the most famous sprint finishing straights in world cycling. And on the front, Casper Pedersen, the Dane, now in full finishing mode, Tony. He is just starting to lift the pedals a little bit, Pedersen here, just raising the pace a little bit, waiting for Cosnefroy. Cosnefroy tucked in on the wheel, and now Pedersen has started. He's opened up full for the line now. Can Cosnefroy come up the wheel? He's come to the left-hand side of the rider, but it looks to me just on the line as if Casper Pedersen's got that one. It was very close in the end. I wasn't expecting to see it quite so close, Tony. This is our chasing group, though, now, and they now know, because they've seen the sprint for first place, that we are waiting to see who's going to come third. Madouas it is who goes first. He's taken the glasses off. He's opened up for the line. Joris Nieuwenhuis is tucked in and pulling all sorts of faces. We would expect Nieuwenhuis to get this one, but Madouas looks good. Working hard on his wheel, though. Look at that for the face of Nieuwenhuis. Right on the line. I think the Sunweb rider may have got it. If he has, then he's given Sunweb a very good day out. Madouas showing an impressive turn of speed come the finish after a very tough run-in. He's committed a lot to this one. There we are seeing the slow-mo. 44th edition of the Driedagse Brugge de Panne, the 3 days of De Panne in one day. This race, of course, normally a springtime race. Here we are right at the end of the year, and it's actually going to be the final one-day men's World Tour race this year. Of course, that honour would have gone to Paris-Roubaix this coming Sunday, but Paris-Roubaix itself falling foul of this quite ridiculous season we're having. We are so lucky to have the racing underway at all. Dylan Groenewegen was the winner last year in a big bunch sprint finish. I'm not expecting to see the same today, because I can tell you, in West Flanders today, it is blowing a right old gale and causing all sorts of trouble in our main peloton. My name's Jez Cox, and I'm pleased to say that on the mic today, I'm joined by former Paris-Roubaix winner, Magnus Backstedt. 48 kph this win, coming from their right as they make their way along the Coburgerstraat, but down to the most southerly point. You can see they're pushed right up against the barriers now. This is the section of the course which we call De Muren, where the organisers have always expected there to be these big splits coming with the wind. You can see they've got a curving left-hander at the end as they make their way around onto Murensteenweg, which is the bottom part of the course. Oh, at the moment, the gap's not cracking in the way we thought they might. Yes, they are. Hugo Hofstetter has felt the hammer off the back wheel there of Mathieu van der Poel. And van der Poel is almost on the grass, such he's trying to hug the last bit of shelter there left as they head their way back towards Oostinkerke. And they're getting closer and closer.
Ooh,
one of the riders in the
I
ditch.
think that's
It looks like the colour of the Dutch national champ. It is. He's gone down very fast into the ditch. This is one of those dikes alongside the road here in the polders. It's the Alpecin Fenix car. I think that is Van der Poel in the ditch.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Magnus, of course we are hoping he's all right. He's not moving very much at the moment. That's a long way down into that dike. You have now swung onto the finishing straight by the looks of it. This shot looking down from the finish line. You can hear the announcer on the finish line. There's a reasonable crowd that have gathered for the end of this one. Thankfully well spaced out, by the way, that shot foreshortening or making the gap, the group look a lot closer than they are. Yves Lampaert now knows what he has coming. He is going to win the final one-day men's World Tour race of the year. The question is, of course, what's going to happen in the sprint behind? Casper Asgreen now, having closed everything down, is on the front of that one. Are De Koning Quickstep going to get the 1, 2, 3? We don't know, but I can tell you the winner is already celebrating. Yves Lampaert, the 29-year-old from Isachem, is going to win this year's Driedaagse Brugge de Paden. And there he is, taking the applause of a modest but very excited crowd in Belgium, because a Belgian has won the final one-day World Tour race of the year. Yves Lampaert takes the win, and the sprint behind has started, but one rider has driven clear by the looks of it.
Tim de Klerk has gone off the front here now. Can he stay away to the line?
Oh, what a day by the De Koning Quickstep riders. Tim de Klerk trying to hang on. Tim Merlier also closing down. John Dagenkolb trying to get on the podium himself. Those two sprinting this one out. Dagenkolb so close with Merlier. Tim de Klerk takes second, and it looks like Tim Merlier taking the final spot on the podium there. Jonas Rickard rolling in just off the back of the one. He's had a hard day out.